A very good morning, class. So today we'll start with your term 2 syllabus, and the first chapter that we'll do is transport and communication. So chapter 17th, transport and communication, which is given on page number 116. Okay, so let us start. Transport, so basically a system or a method, fine, which helps to carry people and goods from one place to another is called transport. So what basically used to happen in the earlier times means the early humans, they used to travel on foot, means by walking. And slowly what happened, then they made wheels and made carts so that they could travel and could also carry their goods. And what happened in the 18th century, James Watt, he designed an efficient steam engine, and in the earlier 20th century, the Wright brothers designed an early version of aeroplane. So basically these two things that happened in the 18th and 18th and 20th century, so these basically two inventions brought a revolution, means a change in transport. So now here we'll read the need for transport. So as you know that every country needs an efficient system of transport. Not just taking one place, like a person from one place to another or people from one place to another, but also for transporting the raw material to the factories and then the finished goods, like once the raw material is transported to the factories, and then from factories these finished goods are taken to the market all over the world. So it is not possible if we don't have an efficient and cheap system of transport. So first is roadways. As you all know that we need roads for the smoother and faster movements of vehicles. And India has a vast network, means a big network of roads including the national highways and the state highways. Means they link the national highways and the state highways, the roads, okay. So a big network of roads also connect India and her neighbors. So for example, the Grand Trunk Road connects Kolkata in India and Peshawar. So which road connects Kolkata and Peshawar? Grand Trunk Road. Okay, and Peshawar is in Pakistan, Kolkata is in India, as you all know. Elsewhere in the world too, there is an intensive network of roads. In Europe and North America, there are expressways or freeways, and these connect towns, cities, and even countries. Okay. Next is railways. So railways are convenient, means easy for traveling and also for carrying goods. The British introduced railways in India and in mid-19th century. So basically the railways were introduced by British and also in the mid-19th century. So today India has the second largest railway network in Asia and the fourth largest in the world. So the US has the largest railway network in the world. The USA has the largest railway network in the world. Russia, China, train route in the world. Which is the longest train route in the world? The Trans-Siberian Railway, which connects Moscow and Vladivostok. That is a distance of over 9,200 kilometers. The train running on this route covers the. So which are the routes that are covered? Distance in 178 hours. So Japan, China and France have designed some of the fastest trains in the world. So which countries have designed the fastest trains in the world? Japan, China and France. The bullet train of Japan, the Maglev of China and the TGV of France can run at a speed of over 400 kilometers per hour. Okay. So now we'll do waterways. So the easiest means of water transport were crafts and boats. So over centuries technology improved. So with the time the technology improved and people began to construct ships. So earlier crafts and boats were used, with the change in time, ships were used. So these could carry more goods and also move faster than crafts and boats. So waterways are cheaper than other modes of transport. This is because unlike roads and railways, waterways require no roads or track. So in roadways you require roads and tracks, like for roads you require roads and for trains you require tracks. But in case of water, there are no roads or tracks. So only ports are needed for loading and unloading of goods. And India has, and for trains you require tracks. But in case of water, there are no roads or tracks. So only ports are needed for loading and unloading of goods. And India has over 200 ports along its coastline. Okay. So the busiest sea route in the world is, busiest means which is always busy, is the one between North America and Western Europe, and it is called the North Atlantic route. So this is the busiest sea route. The construction of Suez Canal and Panama Canal have reduced travel time. Means these two canals have. So the Suez Canal joins the Mediterranean Sea and the Red Sea. So it joins the Mediterranean Sea and the Red Sea. This has enabled ships to cross from Asia to Europe without going around the south tip of Africa. So the ships do not need to go to the south tip of Africa. They just need to cross, if they want to cross, from Asia to Europe. The Panama Canal joins the Atlantic Ocean and the Pacific Ocean. So before it was built, ships had to go around the southern tip of South America to sail from Atlantic Ocean to Pacific Ocean. But with the construction of the Panama Canal, now they don't need to go to the southern tip of South America. They can directly move from Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific Ocean. The last one is airways. So the first successful attempt to fly was made by the Wright brothers, as we have already discussed, in the year 1903. And today air transport has become a popular mode of travel. So it is a very much popular mode to travel. A large network of air routes connect the whole world. And the most dense air network is in Western Europe and the Northern America. So some of the busiest airports in the world are in the cities of Atlanta, London, Paris, Chicago, Belgium, Tokyo and Dubai. So I hope you all have understood this chapter. So today we'll just cover the transport part, and in our next class we'll do the communication part. Okay, I hope you all have understood, and thank you.